In this section, we are going to do addition and subtraction of decimal numbers. So this is addition and subtraction of decimals. Now, let's say we are adding two whole numbers, 3425 plus 29. If we had to do this addition in the vertical format, we would write down 3425 first and then add 29. Remember that 29 has two digits. 9 is in the ones place, 2 is in the tens place. So the way we do this is line up the ones and line up the tens. So 29 should be to the extreme right and not to the extreme left. And then we do our usual addition. 9 plus 5 is 14, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and then we have the 4 and the 3. So when we do whole number addition, we line up the place values. We do the exact same thing here. We just have to be careful that we are lining up the place values correctly. If this is the 10,000ths place, then we have to match it with the 10,000ths place of the second number as well. And the rest is the usual addition. 9 plus 4 is 13. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 7 is 10. 2 plus 1 is 4. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. Notice that we placed the decimal point right below the decimal point here. All the decimal points line up. Now the exact same thing. If you're going to add a 45, make sure that you're lining up the place values. That's the ones place and this is the tens place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Now we just add up once they're all lined up correctly. If you want to be absolutely sure, just put zeros here as placeholders. It doesn't really make a difference. After the decimal point, you can add any number of zeros. Notice that the decimal points are lined up. Now just add as usual. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. Carry the 1. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 4. Dot. 7 plus 3, decimal point here. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's 125.4023. Same thing here. Make sure all the decimal place values are lined up. I'll just put a placeholder here. After the decimal point, I can add any number of zeros. It will not make a difference if I add the zeros at the end. So I'm just putting a 0 just to be sure. Now, same thing. 4 plus 2. 6. Carry the 1. 5 plus 3 plus 1 is 9. Carry the 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Put the decimal dot here. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 8 is 18. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. Carry the 1 and we get a 338.5296. Now, what if we get this sort of a problem? 15.045 minus 2.32 plus 8.23. We have subtraction and addition. If addition and subtraction come together, whatever comes first, we do that first. don't follow the PEMDAS order when you have addition and subtraction in a sequence. So we do one at a time, we go from left to right. What comes first is subtraction. We have to write this down carefully. 15.045 minus, and then I need to line up the place values. Remember, this 2 is in the ones place, and then there's the decimal point, and 3 in the tenths, 2 in the hundredths place. And I'll just put a placeholder here. I'll put a 0 at the end. Zeros at the end after the decimal point don't add anything. It's just, it doesn't change the value at all. Now we subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. 0 minus 3. Now here we have to borrow. We cannot subtract a 3 from 0. So this becomes a 4. We borrow a 1, so that becomes a 10. So 10 minus 3, let me just make sure this is a 10. 10 minus 3 is a 7. 4 minus 2 is a 2. And then 1. 12.725. Next, so we're done with the subtraction. Next, we do the addition with 8.23. So we have a 12.725. Now I need to write down the 8.23. I'm going to add it, but I have to line up the place values carefully. 8 is in the ones place. Point, the points line up. And then I have the 2, and then I have the 3. Add the numbers. So that's a 0. 2 plus 3 is 5. 7 plus 2 is 9. It's a point. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 20.955. So this is problem number 60 on page 236 in section 4.3. The birth weights of all the babies are given. 6 babies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the first question is, what is the difference between the weights of Julian? So Julian is 2.8125 pounds. And Quinn, so since it says difference, we subtract. Quinn is 2.125 pounds. Line up the place values carefully. That's all we need to worry about. And do your usual subtraction. I put a placeholder here. 5 minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 5 doesn't work, so I have to borrow. So it becomes a 12. But this becomes a 0. So 12 minus 5 is 7. And that becomes a 0, which means I cannot go 0 minus 2. I have to borrow a 1. That becomes a 7. And when I borrow, this is a 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 7 minus 1 is 6. 2 minus 2 is a 0. And the answer is in pounds. So 0.6875 pounds. That's the answer. Now, what is the sum of the weights of all the babies? I would suggest going 2 at a time, so we don't mess up with the, or 2 or 3 maybe. 2.375. So we're adding up all the weights. When it says sum, it means add up all the numbers. 2.6875. Line up the place values. and add the numbers. 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1, 8 plus 8 is 16. Six plus 3 plus 1 is 10. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Next, so far we've added 2. Now we add the third one. 5.0625. We add Julian's weight, which is 2.8125. Add it. 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. 8. 5 plus 2 is 7. Next we take this same number and now we need to add Quinn's weight. So it's 2.125. Add the numbers. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10.000. That's a 10. Next we add Claire's number. So Claire's number is 2. Make sure you line up the place values. 4, 3, 7, 5. Add the numbers and you get 12.4375. So 12.4375 plus 2.8125. Add the numbers. 5 plus 5 is 10. Again 10. Then we have 5. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5, and then 1. 15.25. And so our final answer is 15.25 pounds is the total weight of the babies. And the difference was this, if you remember, so that was 0.6875 pounds. Don't forget to write the units of measurement. The next question is very similar. Now this is the last problem. Again, page 236, I think. Problem number 62. We have the total gross earnings worldwide of these films. Shrek 2, we have Nemo, we have Lion King, and Shrek 3. So these are the 4 movies, and the total earnings of the movies is given in millions of dollars. So what this means is Shrek 2 earned $441.2 million. And Nemo earned $339.7 million. So remember, it's in millions. Now the first question is, what is the difference between the earnings of Finding Nemo and The Lion King? So we have the numbers here. Finding Nemo is $339.7 million. We subtract, because it says what's the difference, so we subtract $328.5 million. And when we subtract, it's the usual subtraction. As long as you line up the place values, you get the right answer. 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now we have 11.2, but how do you write down the answer? It's $11.2 million. So that's the difference in the earnings of Nemo and Lion King. Now the last question says, what is the total earnings of all the films?